Metal Monday again with Brett. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Just getting this party started. You know how it goes.
Last week we were on our tire machine. It was before we fired it up. But
last week, last month, last year,
Yeah.
It's been on this train for a while.
But it's up and going.
It is.
So is that something you see a lot of ebb and flow with the market? The tire
No,
crumb?
it's I mean, you'll get some ebb and flow with the steel side, right?
Yeah.
This processing line for us actually peels out all the steel, steel belting out of the tire. Makes a really nice steel product for steel mills.
And is it around 20% per tire?
Yeah, it's on average 18 to 22, depending on the grade.
Okay.
If it's a passenger car tire, passenger pickup truck tire, it's a little bit lower, and then on a semi, tire, it's a little bit higher in the 22-ish to 23 range. Just depends on the manufacturer, but on average, you can probably count on about 18 to 20% steel by weight.
Okay.
Earlier, and it's a hot rolled price is up like 23, 24%, which usually should drive the ferrous, the scrap markets. Maybe it's lagging. Supply is tight. So I think it just depends on the markets you're selling into, the grades you're selling. But it's kind of all over the map, to be honest.
So some up, some down, some sideways. I mean, West Coast is taking kind of not as strong.
The export market is still tough. I mean, your other countries that are, importers of U.S. scrap usually are still, the dollar is still fairly strong, even though we've had some weakness as of late. It's still relatively strong, comparatively speaking, for the last couple of years. So that being said, it's still a tough market to export into. The domestic market still kind of controls the swing of pricing. And if your region is not necessarily, need the volume it once did, then you're probably not going to command the price you once did.
So that's mainly domestic driven. It's like a lot of times I would think the West Coast and East Coast could be dramatically different because of the ports where they're shipping. That's not always the case.
Not always the case. I mean, I think it does play a big role. Like if the Asian countries are strong, if they're going hot and heavy, then the West Coast pricing export side will be strong. Now, if it's Turkey in the Middle East, all of a sudden that's your East Coast, the East Coast and maybe your southern ports. So it really depends on, what is the position of Mexico. That's going to drive the southern market, right? So it is a true global interconnectedness that drives pricing, not just your domestic strength, though a strong domestic market definitely plays a big role in our pricing.
What are you seeing on the demand for stainless right now? Are you seeing
the demand's still there? The pricing's definitely coming down, but the demand seems to be.
People are still buying it though.
I haven't had a hard time selling scrap. Which as long as you have the ability to sell, you're in a position to be able to eat.
What is the first commodity when it is harder to sell that kind of gets harder to sell first?
I think ferrous, steel,
iron.
Because
people always seem to want copper, have a use for it, have a need for it. And that being said, copper, this morning above 370.
Yeah.
So I mean it's trending in the right direction in our world.
It is.
And if we get back to 4 before 2024, I doubt it. But if we could stay around here.
Yeah, it's just there's so many factors going on, right? I mean, there's a lot of macroeconomic stuff still with, Israel and, and you still have the good old Russia, Ukraine. I mean, there's just a lot going on that is an election year coming up next year, and so there's a lot of moving targets you got to pay attention to. But I think the biggest thing, if I could tell anybody, is take into consideration all the noise that's going on, and just focus on your own process, focus on your customers, focus on what you can do to be more efficient, what you can do to be better, what you can do to diversify your business. And I'm not saying if you're in the scrap business starting ice cream business. I'm saying like if you're in the scrap, like see if there's other commodities that maybe your customers are handling or doing or processing or needing help with, and then see if you can expand, just by your product offerings, not necessarily like a whole nother business line, right? Like just look into opportunities.
Yeah, I think they're all over the place. I think we get too busy with our stuck in, like, that's how we do it
Yeah.
ways. I think even a company where I feel like we're pretty forward thinking, we can't even have those problems if we don't meet, if we don't discuss, if we don't have new ideas generated by, new blood or old blood and all of the above. So we keep trying to do that. Election year is it's gonna be funky to see how that affects everything, but I think we're gonna have an interesting 2024, and we're damn near there already. So
I will say this too, like, and I mean this is a plug for sure, but this is also like you don't need recycled media to market your business. You can go figure it out on your own. But the reality of it is, like, if you aren't marketing your business, like significantly, like looking to attract more business, like you will be left behind. And that's just a marketing message in general. Even before we kind of got behind in recycled media, we've always said like marketing's been one of our biggest growth avenues, and it's technology, it's marketing, it's telling your story, it's all the above. And if you're not doing that in 2024, like I fucking guarantee you, like people are going to, and you will be left behind.
And I agree with that 100% because it's not. I think we're scrap yards, recycled yards. I think where they go wrong is they look at, Joe recycler across the street that is never going to really run you hard competition. You're going to have like a big dog move in to see like, oh, they're not doing shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to come just take it from them. And they will. If you don't have it in the works where you're keeping your competition at bay, they're going to come take it from you. It might not be 2024. It might be, but it's going to be soon, because that is changing quickly. And tech is changing so quickly, people can be a lot more nimble. So,
like, think about this. Think about the small to medium-sized companies that operate in your industry, in your region, in your city, in your town, right? And think about, like, all these other, let's say medium to larger size business that want to expand.
mm-hmm.
Like they're going to go look for some undervalued location that can run you competition. Mm-hmm. They're going to come into your market, buy them so they can get the permit, and then they can come in and fix that facility
and
up.
Customer list.
And their customer list, and they know who their competitor is. And if you're half-assing it and you're not doing it the right way, it's easy pickings.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is. If you're not taking care of business, your business will get taken care of.
If you're listening to this, like Brett said, it is a halfway plug.
It's a fucking full plug. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, it's a full plug because we've been there. Like,
We've done it.
I'm not here to tell you to do some shit that I haven't done or we haven't done or our team hasn't done. I'm just telling you, like, where the bear shits in the woods.
And we've made every mistake you can on the way. So if you did want some input on that, reach out to us.
We'll help you. We'll do everything we can. At the end of the day, like, it's happening.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Have a great day.